Do you get it that you are vibrational beings? Sort of. When you walk into a room, do you know you observe it vibrationally? Even what you're seeing is a vibrational observation, because seeing is translation of vibration that you call sight. Hearing is translation of vibration that you call sound. You're just so good at it that you say, oh, I don't translate vibrationally. I just see, I just hear, I just smell, taste, and touch. And we say, but all of that is vibrational interpretation. But even more, when you walk into a room, you are privy to the vibrational content of that room. And when you are privy to the vibrational content, depending upon where you are vibrating, if you've been worried, you're privy to that. If you've been elated, you're privy to that. In other words, depending upon where you've set your tuner, you will then begin to receive in this very fabulous leading edge interpretation of vibration, you'll begin to know right away where your vibrational set point is. Someone said to us recently, and a person or two has had a conversation with Esther recently, and the conversation says, I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with this problem in my life, or I'm obsessed with this activity that I enjoy. I'm obsessed with it. Now think about what that means. Obsessed just means you thought about it, which activated the vibration of it. And as you thought about it longer, you activated the vibration of it longer. And it doesn't take much of that before law of attraction kicks in. Really, 17 seconds of steady attention to something gets the ball rolling. And by the time you've done another 17 and another 17 and another 17, and you reach the very short period of time of 68 seconds, law of attraction is kicked in. You've got an activated vibration, and evidence of that vibration will begin to show up. Now, if you do this on purpose, you will teach yourself how well you're doing at holding a thought without distracting yourself from it, and you will show yourself how responsive law of attraction is to that thought. So what do you think about finding a thought that you know would be helpful to you and turning it into an obsession? Why let the things that just show themselves to you, why let CNN make it your obsession? Why let the forum that you're tuning into make it your obsession? Why does somebody else get to choose what you're interested in? Here's the thing that we want you to know. When you walk into a room, you are vibrationally observing, and you only have access to what is active in your vibration. Now, sometimes that's hard to hear because you think, as physical beings and as really good observers you have deciphered your time-space reality in a more clear, consistent manner than ever before. You have more tools to do it. But in the process of observing your environment, most of you are not aware that in the process of observing the current environment, you are creating the future environment. So if you could choose from the current environment the parts you like the best and become sort of obsessed with those positive aspects, your personal future environment would begin to turn in the direction of things more the way you want them to be. But there's another piece of this that we really want to activate in a way that you will really get it. You think when you walk into a room that you have access visually or auditorily or comprehensively to whatever's going on in there, and that just isn't true. You only have access to what's going on in there that you are a vibrational match to. Have you ever misplaced something, couldn't find it anywhere, and then found it right under your nose? Because when you have the attitude it's lost, when you have the belief that it's lost, when you beat the drum I cannot find it, when you start that search, have you ever looked for something for more than 68 seconds? Of course you have. Every day. Your keys or something. In other words, there are all kinds of things that you have the attitude, I can't find it, where is it, it's lost, or I don't have enough, or whatever. So when you think about something that you've been looking for that you can't find, and then it shows up and you're sure that someone snuck in and put it there, you had it, didn't you? You had it, you were holding it away from me. And then when I gave up, you put it there where I could find it. And we're just wanting you to point out to yourself in a real life experience that when you have decided something, when you have come to a place of expectation, that's a chronic vibrational patterning, maybe temporary, but it's active and it's strong right here and now. And you literally cannot sometimes see things that are right under your nose because, and here's the word we want you to remember, you don't have vibrational access to something that is different than the vibration you're offering. You just don't. Even something as simple as seeing with your own eyes. Esther looked for a gold pen for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Talk about a chronic obsession. She turned the house upside down, went in and out of every closet, every pocket, every purse, every place that it could possibly be, and pronounced to Jerry, it is really, really gone. And then, a month later, looking for something else, she found it. And it was in a bag she had been through several times. But the universe, not maliciously, vibrationally accurately, carefully guided her tender little fingers around the very thing that she was looking for because she was sure it was lost. And you cannot find something that you believe is lost. You don't have vibrational access to it, you see. And so, what we are getting at here is you are vibrational creators. And when you get the hang of being a vibrational creator and you care about tuning your vibration, becoming obsessed, activating chronically, which just means give enough attention to it that it's really active in your vibration, the universe must show you the evidence of what's active in your vibration, and always is. In fact, that's a good way to know what's active in your vibration. You're living it. But that's the part that trips you up. It's active in your vibration, so you're living it, and now you're living it, you're observing it. And now you're observing it, you keep it active in your vibration, and now it's active in your vibration, you're living it. And now that you're living it, you're observing it. Now you're observing it, you're keeping it active in your vibration. And now it's active in your vibration. Law of attraction is bringing you more of it, and as you see more of it, observe it, you keep it active in your vibration, and then you pronounce, this is reality. And we say, of course it is. That's how reality is created. But when you decide that you will no longer be a regurgitator of what is, that you will be a selective sifter of the aspects of what is that thrill you, and that you would turn your attention toward the things that life has caused you to create, then you're off and rolling in a deliberate and satisfying way. The creative process is really 3 steps, and mostly you do it unconsciously, and that's just fine. Contrast helps you to launch your rockets of desire whenever you know what you don't want, whether you say it out loud or not. What you do want is known, because in this universe of contrasts, there is that which is wanted and absence of it in every particle of the universe. So just beating the drum of something unwanted automatically causes awareness at other levels of your being of what it is that you are wanting. That's the way you are filling your vibrational escrow full of all kinds of wanted things. If you're rude to someone, you want to be nicer. If someone's rude to you, you want them to be nicer. If you don't have enough of something, you want it. If you've got something you don't want, you want the absence of it. In other words, all day, every day, you are sending these rockets of desires, and the larger part of you, the source energy part of you, is finding vibrational alignment immediately with them. Now, here's something that you may not know about law of attraction. Law of attraction is this consistent law that really is the manager of the universe. Law of attraction is what keeps all things moving as they are. Law of attraction literally says, and you have to understand we are speaking vibrationally, that which is likened to itself is drawn. You set your radio dial on the frequency of 6:30 a.m., you will hear what's being broadcast from the same frequency tower. You can't hear what's being broadcast on 98.7 when your tuner is set at 6:30 a.m. You get that. And in the same way, you can't set your tuner of, I don't have enough of something, and be the immediate, now, happy receiver of what it is you're asking for. So step 1 said, ask, and contrast helps you to do that. Step 2 is, source becomes an immediate vibrational equivalent of what you are asking for. And by source, we mean that larger part of you, that source energy part of you, who tends to the vibration of that what you're asking for. We so want you to understand the big picture. You came forth as source energy, knowing that you in your physical form would explore and come to new conclusions, and understanding that the larger part of you would ride the rocket of that new conclusion. And it does every single day. So when your life causes you to expand and the larger part of you takes the expansion, but the rest of you doesn't go with it, you feel separation in your vibration. Too strong of word. Separation is too strong. But we want you to understand that it is that resistance that equals everything that you would describe as negative emotion. Negative emotion simply means life caused you to expand and all of you didn't go. You're still saying, where is it? I can't find it. Why is it not coming to me? When the larger part of you is over there with it. Now, this is the thing that we really want to call your attention to. This vortex of everything that you've been asking for is a vibrational reality. And if that doesn't mean much to you, oh, it's a vibrational reality, everyone can't see it, we say it is everything that is a reality that is agreed upon mostly by most of you, was at one time a vibrational reality. So this vibrational reality is a reality worth noticing, and the larger part of you is there noticing it. So when you hold yourself in opposition to it, then you keep the gap between you and who you really are, the gap between you and who you really are and what you really want, you keep that gap in place so that you don't get to live the reality, because there is a vibrational variance. So what's happening over here in this vibrational reality? What's going on over there? Law of attraction is responding to it. Law of attraction is responding to the purity. And why is it pure? Because it is the dominant vibration being held by source, and no one can keep it from being what it is. In other words, this is such a dominant vibration of well-being that even though you might be beating the drum of its opposition, you can't destroy it. The worst you can do is hold yourself away from it. Now, that's the first time we've said that, and that is really worth noting, because when you launch a creation of well-being, whether you're a one-celled organism, whether you're somebody living on the other side of the world, it does not matter who you are. As this leading-edge creator, you get to ask about improvements for you. And source becomes that improvement, whether the rest of you comes along with it or not. So here, law of attraction is responding to this vibrational escrow. It's a vortex of coming together. And what's coming together? All of the circumstances, events. Law of attraction is summoning everything that matches your desire. You getting a picture of this? Magnetically, the things that you've been asking for are all being drawn together, and there is this amassing of this wonderful life, this wonderful experience, this perfect relationship, this more money, this better environment to live. Everything that you've been asking for, whether you've used words or not, as you've been synthesizing life, and whether you are one individual or a mass consciousness, feel this vortex of becoming, this future vortex, future in terms of manifestation, present in terms of vibrational nowness. This vortex is the basis of the worlds that are to come. And the timing of the world coming only has to do with the catching up of the physical world. In other words, when you've put something into vibrational escrow, all you got to do is look in the direction of it and talk like it until you feel like it, and you become a match to it, and now it must manifest. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. There is nothing that is off limits. You will notice a remarkable unfolding. Since this vortex has been amassing, you could say accurately that we've had this meeting vibrationally before you dragged your physical bodies here. So it will be fun for us to sift through this together and put it into a comprehensive, understandable unfolding in our effort at assisting you in coming into alignment with who you really are. Life is supposed to be fun, so let's get going. What do you want to talk about? You have come with some things. Just relax and acknowledge that you'll get your answer whether you sit in the chair or not. Try even now, and it'll be easier now than later, to conjure appreciation for those who do sit there. Begin right here.